Hello and welcome to video number 1 out of 4 on slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. This video is just going to cover a lesson on what some things mean, how to do some basic types of problems, and the other shorter videos to come will focus on giving you some practice problems on specific skills and then giving you the answer keys and advice on how to best work those out. For today, though, let's get to business with the lesson. Okay, so when you're given an equation like this one, this is called slope-intercept form. And the reason why is because there's the slope and there's the y-intercept, hence the name slope-intercept form. Now these two pieces of information are very valuable to you. They tell you a lot about how to do different things with this equation, such as fill in a data table, graph a line, and things like that. So first of all, let's start with y-intercept. What y-intercept means it means that's where the line crosses the y-axis. So what it means is, if we have a line right there, that's what it means. Okay? In this case, what it means is since our y-intercept equals 3, it means we have an ordered pair, and 3 is the y value in that ordered pair, and that ordered pair always has an x value of 0. Okay? So if we want to put this in a generic form, m stands for slope, b is a constant, we could just do this. You're always going to have an ordered pair that has 0 and the constant b in there. And then having that ordered pair lets you graph that. Okay? So we can graph the y-intercept. Then from there, we have slope. In this case, it's 2. Slope is written as the change in y over the change in x. So in this case, it represents y, and we would put a 1 on the bottom. So this means the y value is changed by 2 for every change of 1 in the x values. Okay? If we translate this to a graph, I'm going to use my 3 from up above. There's the y-intercept for y equals 2x plus 3. And then the slope of 2 over 1 means I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Put a dot right there. Then I can take a straight edge, put a straight line through those 2 points, and I've graphed the line, y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, something important to know about slope. Many times it's given to you as a fraction. For example, -1/3 or 3/2. And there's a general way you could look at these fractions, and that is, on top, if it's a positive number, you're going up. If it's a negative number, you're going down. And on the bottom, the denominator, you're always going to the right. Always. No matter what the sign is, you always go to the right. Okay? And like we just talked about, if you have a slope that's a whole number, you just put a 1 on the bottom, and then you have your fraction. You've got your up, and you've got your to the right. Okay, those are the basics of slope-intercept form and what the different pieces of it mean. Okay, and you can find this change in y, change in x, using any 2 points on the same line. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you have a line and you have some some dots graphed on that line. Pick any two you want, and you'll end up with the same slope. That's a different lesson though. For now, we're just picking apart this format of an equation. Okay, time for a couple of examples, and then we'll end this video and you can get on to the practice videos. All right? All right, here's our first example. If I give you a line, you should be able to find the slope, the y-intercept, and write the equation in slope-intercept form. Here's how that works. Let's say you just walked into math class. There's a big test. You're all scared. You studied all night, but you're still scared. And there's just a line. All there is a line. And you're supposed to find the slope, the y-intercept, and write the equation with just a line. Well, first step, there's the y-intercept. You can always find that because that's where the line crosses the y-axis. So in this case, the y-intercept is 1. Right? You start at the origin, go up 1, it's 1. So if we're going to have y equals mx plus b form, slope-intercept form, this is fill in the blank time. The y-intercept is also known as the constant, which has the abbreviation of b. So now I can write y equals mx plus 1 because I figured out where the y-intercept is. Next, we need the slope. M stands for slope. So if I start at the y-intercept and I need to find a point on the line where there's an intersection of grid lines, that's the key here. I want to see where the grid lines intersect. Then I want to know how far up and how far over. By the way, this is called a slope triangle. A right triangle designed to help you find the slope of a line. So in this case, I find this dot because I have two lines that intersect. And then from my y-intercept, from the constant, I'm going up 2, and I'm going over 3. So up 2 over 3 means this, because if you remember, the top number is always the up or down, and the bottom number is the movement to the right, the change in x. So I'm going to go put this in my equation, and now I have y equals 2/3 x plus 1. And I've done all the stuff here. I found the slope, which is 2/3. I found the y-intercept, which was the point at 0, 1, and I wrote the equation. That's how you take on a problem like that. Let's see here. How about if I give you an equation and you use the y-intercept and slope to make a line? So this will be our second example. I'm going to have you identify the slope and the y-intercept and graph it. All right, let's use this equation. What's the y-intercept? Yes, right there. It's the point at 0, 2, -2. Whenever there's a sign there, you want to use that sign for that y value. In this case, that means start at the origin and go down 2. That's the -2. And that's the y-intercept. Done. Identify the slope. There's the slope. 1/3. What that means is, since 1 is a positive number, means you're going to go up, and 3 always means you're going to go to the right. Never go to the left on these types of problems. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept, go up 1, and then over 3. Up 1, over 3, make another dot. And you can keep doing this. Makes your line even better, and it gives you good practice. Up 1, to the right 3. So I made a few extra dots that time for no particular reason. Straight edge. There. We identified the slope, we identified the y-intercept, made the graph. Okay. That's our examples. I'm going to give you one more example, okay? I'm digging in my drawer over here. Got another piece of graph paper. Example 3, and we're almost done with this lesson. Example 3 is, I'm going to give you a table. And I want you to write the equation and graph. Okay? Given just that much information, here's how we can do it. First of all, in order to write the equation, we need the slope and the y-intercept. Hopefully you got that by now. Okay, so here's the y-intercept. You can always tell the y-intercept on a data table because that's where x equals 0. So in this case, our y-intercept is 0, -2. So if I'm writing the equation in y equals mx+b form, I've got this piece now, y equals mx minus 2, right? Minus 2. Next, I need the slope. And we only have a couple of values on the table, but assuming this is a linear equation, which they will be in these situations at this basic level, we could fill in the table simply by observing, hey, this went from -2 to +1. That means it went up by 3. If I keep going up by 3, that would be a 4, and that would be a 7, right? For each x value of increasing by 1, the y value increases by 3. But remember, in slope-intercept form, the y goes on top. Notice on the data table, this is where it gets confusing. It's always called an xy table. The x is on top. They need to be switched to get your slope correct. So watch out for that. That's scary. Okay? So on the table, it looks like my slope would be 1/3, right? Because I have 1 on top of 3. But it's the change in y over the change in x. So the slope for this table is just 3, right? 3 over 1. Because the change in y is 3, the change in x is 1. So the slope is 3. So this equation is y equals 3x minus 2. And then you could graph it quite simply by doing this. -2, get the y-intercept. Slope is positive 3. And remember, if you're like, what do I do? It's only a 3. I need a fraction. Make it a fraction by putting a 1 on the bottom. So from here, I go up 3 and to the right 1. Get out the ruler, draw the line. Done. It's just that fast, it's just that easy. Okay? There, you've got a bunch of great examples. Sorry it took 15 minutes to get all that to you. That's the lesson. Stay tuned for other videos where we practice specific problems, and they'll be much shorter than this. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.